What's going on, guys? Ali here. And in this video, I'm going to be breaking down how I broke into tech sales and got onto a path to make over $250,000 in a year. All without any prior tech sales experience or college degree. Now, future videos on my channel are going to be very centered around my experiences over the last 2 to 3 years up until now. So anything in regards to prospecting, demoing, discovery calls, negotiation, all things you do from whenever you're a BDR, when you break into tech sales, up until being a senior account executive, which is what I am now. And I'm going to be documenting all of that. They're going to be very strategic and tactical videos on how I've done it, not necessarily how you should do it, but how I've done it and how you can apply it to your job whenever you are in tech sales. Because at the end of the day, you're going to be selling to potentially different personas, and you're going to be selling a different solution. So a lot of these principles that I'm going to be showing you are going to be very applicable, but you're going to have to iterate on and make your own, which is the beauty of it. But what I want to do is I want to dive into this and break this down step by step from how I broke in up until being a senior AE, which is what I am today. And if you guys don't know, tech sales is continuing to grow and is only getting bigger and bigger and bigger. All the software companies out there, new applications, AI, all of this is centered around selling, and those companies need people to sell. So the opportunity for growth in this industry is continuing to grow, and there are so many opportunities out there. And I know, I got into this 6 years ago. I've seen people do it bigger and better than I have recently and over the last 5 to 6 years. So it's very possible. And I hope you find some value in this video and apply it some sort of way. But with that being said, let's dive right into the video. All right, y'all, let's not waste any time here. As you guys know, this video is really going to be for people who are thinking about making a career change. Maybe you're in school and you're undecided on what you want to do. Maybe you're a dropout like I was, and you're just considering a career to get into. That's who this is going to really be for. So if you're really considering tech sales, I think you're going to find a lot of value here. Now, a little bit about me, right? I'm Ali. Now, in this video, I'm going to be walking you through how I was a college dropout working part-time at Best Buy to making over $250K in tech sales. Now, for those of you watching, please just close all your tabs, put your phone away. I put a lot of time into this video, and I feel like there is a good amount of value here for you to take with you and apply if you're seriously considering breaking into tech sales. Now, if you do plan on making life-changing income as an account executive in tech sales, there's no doubt in my mind that you can do it in a shorter period than I did. Now, that being said, this doesn't happen overnight. You do have to put the work in, but if you execute and you make your goals very clear up front, it's definitely possible. Now, before we go into detail, I want to actually show you some proof here, and I got my W-2s. This is the W-2 flex, but this is my 2018 W-2 with Best Buy, where I made 26K that year, and then my first year where I broke over 250K was in 2022 at Sysdig. So that said, guys, it's possible. I've seen people do it in a shorter period of time, longer period of time. It's really up to you and how much work you're willing, to put in. That being said, who is this for? If you're in college, you have no idea what you're wanting to do, this is for you. If you're wanting to make a career change and you don't have any prior sales experience or even tech sales experience, this is for you. If you're entrepreneurial minded, right, and you're unsure about next steps and need to acquire skills before starting your own business when it comes to sales, copywriting, marketing, these are all things you learn whenever you are a BDR, an account executive in the sales role. If you're open-minded to learning and self-improvement and you're just constantly curious, this is for you. And without question, if you're money motivated, this is definitely for you. Who this isn't for. If you're looking for a side hustle and you're not willing to go all in on your career, not the best option for you. If you're looking to get rich quick, you won't find it here. If you're unwilling to get out of your comfort zone, asking hard questions, negotiating, building, nurturing relationships, following up, I wouldn't consider sales in general, just take out tech sales, sales in general, as an option for you. And if you're not coachable, and ready for constructive criticism from your leadership, that's something that you guys should actually be seeking and wanting, if you're really wanting to improve. So if that's not something that's really in your wheelhouse, I wouldn't encourage you to get into sales. Now, the truth about making multiple six figures in tech sales that nobody will tell you, you can absolutely do it within your first 3 to 4 years without any prior sales experience, technical background, or a college degree. Now, most new sales reps starting in tech, they never get there because they don't understand it's not about selling your company's products and features and shoving your product down your customers' throats or your prospects' throats. It's about building and nurturing relationships and putting your customer needs first and listening, being mindful of what they care about. You must focus on what you can control, and that's it. Don't focus on things that you can't control when it comes to your territory that you're assigned, your manager, other things, right? Don't focus on that. Focus on what you can control, and I promise you, in time, you'll be able to get those opportunities that you're looking for. Now, right here, just showed you a little bit of a little bit of proof on some things that I've done right. I've sold into larger companies, and as you can see here, this is my former VP giving me a shout out on one of our net new logos that we had closed. Now, that being said, limiting beliefs that you really need to protect yourself from that I quite often hear is tech sales is only for tech gurus, right? You have to be technical to get into tech sales. Not true at all. Not true at all. In reality, while product knowledge is important, and that's something that you're going to learn whenever you do get in seat, they're going to give you time. They, as in the company you're working for, will give you time to acclimate yourself and learn. Strong communication, relationship building, and knowing how to engage your resources internally, because sales is a team game, is what's going to be critical for your success. Okay? Now, if you really want to break into tech sales, I'm going to show you exactly how to navigate around all the misconceptions I mentioned, how I landed my first tech sales role with no prior sales experience or college degree, how to get on a path to making 250K plus, and how to continuously be in position for promotions when those opportunities do come your way. In case you didn't know, here's a little bit of a brief backstory about how I got here. Okay, I was going to community college, skipping classes, no direction on what I wanted to do. I was working part-time at Best Buy, as I mentioned earlier. I was a security guy, guys. I wasn't even in sales. I wasn't in PC, cameras, nothing. Security, guy standing at the front door. And I was just searching for ways on how I can make money, looking at real estate courses, social media marketing, Ty Lopez, Grant Cardone, all these guys, looking at their courses. And at the time, I was in no position to start a business with the mindset and the skills that I had at the time. And obviously, I was very unaware, which is why I was just searching. And one day, I was actually approached by one of our regular customers who came in quite often, and I'd always just been very friendly towards them, pointed them in the right direction, got people that could actually help him out. And there were a few times where I actually kind of walked him towards something and explained a few things to him. I was knowledgeable about some of the things, especially when it came to computers. And he just told me one day when he came in, like, would I be open to a sales role? And I told him, sure, and, he told me about him working at Hewlett Packard Enterprise, HPE, and that there were some roles coming open in inside sales. So I applied. He put in a good word for me, and that's how I ended up breaking in. And there's going to be a lot more in depth to that that I will explain in future videos, but that's how I got my start, was through building that relationship with that regular customer. That opportunity got presented to me, and luckily enough, I was blessed to get the opportunity to work at HPE. Now, as you can see here, me at Best Buy, and then here's me at Sysdig at a dinner with the team. But the Tech Sales Accelerator, this is a systemized approach I built through my own trial and error, breaking into tech sales as a BDR, which is where I started, all the way up into my current role as a senior account executive. And I've documented how I broke into tech sales, learned how to prospect, build relationships, manage accounts, upsell, cross-sell, all my wins and my losses, and even career advice from mentors of mine that I've been given. And there's more to that as well, but I'm going to break all of that down for you in this accelerator. Now, In the following steps, I'm going to outline from A to Z of what I did and how I did it, what I did to accomplish these results, so you too can use my systemized approach to break into tech sales and be on your way to 250K plus. Now, let me reiterate, a lot of this is going to be very applicable when it comes to the principles, strategies you can use, but some of this you're going to have to tailor based off of the company you're going to be working for and the personas, the people you're going to be selling to. Okay? So don't think any course that you go and get or any sort of learning that you're searching for, it's not going to be cookie cutter. You have to adjust and evolve it and make it work for you. So, what this Tech Sales Accelerator consists of are 4 steps, 4 pillars. First, landing a role in tech sales. Second, mastering fundamentals in prospecting. Third, building relationships and closing deals. And fourth, account management and self-improvement. And I'm going to break all those down for you right here. So, now, what I want to tell you is how you can really optimize each stage and systemize this for yourself so you won't make the same mistakes I did. And hopefully, you'll get to 250K faster than I did as well. Now, firstly, landing a role in tech sales. First thing you got to do is understand the role, what it is you're applying for, SDR, BDR, and understand the landscape. What industry are you looking into? Is it fintech? Is it medtech? Is it a sales solution? You really need to study these things and understand them. That way, you're ready for whenever that interview does come. Now, crafting your personal brand. This one right here is so critical when it comes to this first part. So identifying your unique strengths and highlighting that, okay, and how it's relevant to that specific position. That's going to be critical. Utilizing LinkedIn. That's where I've literally found my last 4 roles. Actually, every single role except HPE was through LinkedIn, okay? So building a strong profile, connecting and networking with folks at that company. Targeted job searches. This is something that you can do in LinkedIn as well. This is something that you're going to want to do. And then lastly, interview prep. Practicing common interview questions that are going to be presented to you. Leveraging those past experiences and how they align with the expectations of the role that you're applying for. And also preparing questions for the interviewer. This is something that's really important, and that's going to make you stand out if you actually ask them the right questions. And then lastly, I would say mock interviews and practicing, guys. That's going to be critical for whenever you do get these interviews that do come up. Okay, that's the first part. Second part to this is going to be mastering fundamentals and prospecting. Whenever you do land that role, most likely you're going to be in a BDR or SDR role, and you're going to be focused on prospecting all day long. So right when you start, I highly recommend finding a top performing mentor in that role. Okay, see what they're doing. What questions are they asking? What are they doing throughout the day? When do they do it? How do they do it? Listen to their calls if that's possible. This is really going to help you learn what to do and what not to do and stand out from the rest. Second is going to be honing in on your prospecting techniques. Okay, when it comes to cold calling, cold emailing, building a credible presence on LinkedIn as you network with prospects. All of this is going to be really important, and you need to leverage all of them, okay? Now, how much time you allocate on each one is going to be dependent on some of the success you're seeing within that organization, okay? Because there's not a one-size-fits-all. Hey, you need to do these many calls, these many emails. It's going to be dependent on what the data is showing you, and that's how you're going to formulate your own approach, okay? Third is going to be lead qualification. You're going to have to understand how to qualify and disqualify leads based off of your ideal customer profile. That's ICP. You're going to see that word tossed around a lot. Okay. This is going to be that customer that you see commonly purchasing your solution. You want to study these people, these companies religiously, understand what they care about, what they don't care about, why they purchase, what it does for them, all of that. That's going to help you whenever you're having these conversations with these folks. Okay. Lastly is going to be sales training and sales methodologies. You're going to see BANT and MEDDIC a lot. That's what's most commonly used at every company I've been at. That's what's been used. You need to study these and understand how to use them and the frameworks behind them, okay? Not hard to learn. You'll be able to understand them, but whenever you're having these conversations, this is something that you're going to need to be mindful of. And also, just quite frankly, to appease your leadership, they're going to want to know these things whenever they speak to you. So understanding that. CRM proficiency, whether you're using like a Salesforce, HubSpot, This is essentially going to help you manage your leads and forecast deals appropriately. So you'll learn how to do that whenever you step into the role, but that's going to be critical as well. And then lastly, objection handling techniques. Okay, whenever you're having these conversations, what are the most common reasons customers, prospects aren't wanting to buy or are going with another vendor? You're going to want to document all of this. So that's going to be the second part there. Third part, building relationships and closing deals. As you transition now into more of like a junior AE role, whether it's in the commercial segment, SMB, small to medium business, you're going to start learning how to do this. And firstly, relationship building, right? Cultivating strong relationships with your prospects, but also existing clients. Okay, what do they value most out of your solution? Understanding what priorities they have as a company, right? And aligning with those. That way you can identify those upsell and cross-sell opportunities. Second, I would say is discovery calls, right? Conducting thorough discovery to uncover your customers' pain points and needs. What questions should you be asking? How should you be asking them? That's going to be critical. Utilizing a recording software for learning and development. So all the companies I've been with, except one of them, we use Gong. But there's so many out there that a lot of other companies use. And this is essentially you watching film, right? Just from like a sports analogy perspective. You get to listen to your calls, listen to the questions you ask, listen to the responses. And you can also listen to other reps' calls, other sales reps' calls, and learn from them. This is where I live, even up till now, like even with experience. Like I want to know what's working for other people and what's not working. You're going to want to leverage that to the fullest. Third is going to be demo excellence, okay? Delivering a compelling demo that really aligns with what the customer is looking for. So whenever you're demoing your solution, there is a right way and a wrong way on how to do it, and putting your customer's needs first and tailoring your demo accordingly is going to be the way you do it. You might do this on your own. You might do this with an SA, and an SA is a sales engineer who's going to be on your side. So that's something that you're going to have to be very mindful of, but you're always going to want to adjust that and make sure you're aligned to what the customer cares about. Typically, the discovery call comes before the demo. Lastly, negotiation skills, mastering negotiation techniques to close deals at favorable terms. Okay? Always, always, always make sure there's a give to get relationship going on. Never give anything without getting. Okay? And I know this can be really hard, especially when you're starting out in sales, but I promise you, whenever somebody asks for something, if you stand your ground, you're going to be able to get to what you want to get to and come to a resolution that works best for both parties. So negotiation is going to be critical, especially as you go from junior AE or SMB AE to mid-market and then enterprise. You're going to absolutely have to have that skill down, all of these skills down. Okay. And got a little Slack picture here from my manager at the time, who I actually was giving me a shout out here, but I closed a deal with it was a customer. It was a new prospect, and our champion, a champion is what we call people, our main point of contact who is influencing the deal and speaking to his leadership and really selling on our behalf. He actually left the company, and we had done a lot of, demoing and trialing, and they were so close to buying. He leaves. So now it's almost like starting at point zero, but I was able to leverage my relationship that I used and knew with the co-founder, who wasn't necessarily our champion, but he was aware of the deal, and all of the data and momentum that we had built wasn't all lost. But new champion came in, we leveraged the co-founder and got him up to speed, and we were able to get that deal across. So that's why constant communication and taking detailed notes is going to be critical whenever you're in these deals, because all things can happen. But that said, that's going to be the third part there. Last part of this 4-pillar approach is strategic account management and leadership, right? Whenever you do sell on to customers, how do you upsell them and cross-sell them and identify those opportunities? Strategic planning, right? Long-term account strategies that maximize revenue and customer satisfaction. So preventing a lot of that churn, because there are going to be times where you sell to a customer, a year later they churn. Team leadership. This is something that if you're wanting to continue to get promoted and have those opportunities presented to you, you got to be a leader, and you got to be willing to share all your experiences, wins and losses, and don't feel like you need to hide anything. That's the absolute wrong mindset and wrong approach. Share everything, because I promise you 95, 99% of people aren't even going to they'll listen, but they won't even actually apply it. But yeah, share everything, give help where you can, and don't be afraid to stand out. Because there are people who want to kind of hold back. Don't be that person. Continuous learning, right? Always staying updated on industry trends, what's going on, evolving technologies. If you're in tech sales, tech never stops. It continues to evolve. And then, investing in your own education, whether that's paid by your company or not, you should always be doing that. You should always be networking with people who are above you, and figuring out what's working and what's not if you want to continue to grow in this space. As I already mentioned, sharing those insights internally and getting feedback. Don't be afraid of criticism. Welcome it. You should be welcoming that. So that's the last part of that 4-step approach. Now, when we look at all of this holistically, the Tech Sales Accelerator, this accelerator is meant to help people break into tech sales as I did, without any prior sales experience or college degree, but also thrive while you're in position as a BDR or an SDR or an AE to getting promotions to where you're making 250K plus. Guys, there's so much more money to be made. 250K is nice. Let me tell you, you can make a lot more than that. And there are reps who have done well over that. When I was at Sysdig, there were a few strategic AEs, which is the highest level. One or two of them made over $1 million. It's very possible. And I'm not even counting stock options, stock units, or anything. Is it hard? Absolutely. But if you do it right, it's very possible if you're willing to put in the work. So that being said, right, I don't want to get off track here. Whenever I finally implemented this 4-step approach, which was actually the second year of my tech sales career at HPE, it wasn't initially, obviously, these are the results that transpired from that. I got promoted 3 times within the next 4 years, went from 50K in my first year at HPE to making over 250K, was a top performer on my team at several different companies that I've been with, helped 8 people that I can remember. I'm not even thinking about when I was at HPE and Fortinet, get new jobs in tech sales just last year. And I've also built meaningful relationships that'll last me far past my career. So with that being said, there's a whole lot that you really can get out of a career in tech sales, guys. And like I said, it's not going to be an overnight success. I really want to instill that when it comes to your mindset here. So now that you actually understand how this whole process works, I do have an offer for you. If you're considering a career change, if you're underperforming in one of these roles as an SDR, a BDR, or an AE, if you're a dropout like I was, directionless in school, or if you're in school and you're wanting to make life-changing money and wanting to continue to grow and level up and have those opportunities for growth and just, quite frankly, ready to change you and your family's life, right? And give more, donate more, whatever your goals are, this industry and this career field can give you that vessel to do that. So with that being said, guys, I'm only in my 6th year. Who knows where the future will take me, but I do know as long as I'm in it, I'm constantly trying to grow and evolve and get better and get to that next level. So with that being said, I'm going to drop my Calendly link below, and I'd invite you to book a call with me if you are interested in potentially pursuing a career in tech sales, whether that's an SDR, BDR, or AE. I'm more than happy to have that conversation and sharing my experiences on what I've done and how I've done it. Not necessarily what you should do or how you should do something, but I'm more than happy to just share that. And that's something that I've been really wanting to do, and I'm finally doing it now. I'm not going to sell you anything on that call. I just want to have a conversation with you and see if I could just be of service. So with that being said, guys, I hope this gave you a nice overview of what to expect in the tech sales career space, how you can get started and what you can get to. So with that, hope you find a lot of value in this and a lot more videos to come, all things tech sales, from being a BDR to AE. Can't wait to show it with you. Hope you find a lot of value in this, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. We'll see you guys.